So let's talk about the old boy that wants to walk into a Springfield. Was it a Walmart?
It was a Walmart grocery store.
Right after the heinous crime of somebody walking into a Walmart and shooting up the place, here goes this guy in Springfield and walks into a Walmart, locked and loaded, but not intending to shoot someone. What happened?
Not showing a sign. Now let's get this. Let's get this.
Do
out.
we know what?
Yeah.
The details.
Okay. Let's get this out of the way. The kid's an idiot. Okay, I said it. We don't all have to say it. Let's get that out of the. If this is him wanting to be a Tim Harper, or the guy
Who's
over
Tim
here,
Harper?
Tim Harper is one of the guys who does the Second Amendment audits. He's part of Oklahoma Taxpayers Unite, has a show where he'll go walking down the street with the rifle on a sling
Just
over
to
his
see.
shoulder, and he'll
It's a
just
pistol.
yeah. Well, he also does a rifle.
Oh, does he?
Yes. And he's done it, and just like a guy out here in Broken Arrow did. D'Ambrose has been following that for a few months here. And somebody just peacefully walking, and has this like not pointing at each other, not even, in your hands, not even with your fingers wrapped around.
Right.
But because it's bothering some snowflakes, there I said it, therefore it's against the law. You are scaring people. Now you tell me, who's scaring whom? Because, if he was walking out in the woods wearing a red hat and an orange vest or whatever, he wouldn't be scaring anybody, right? Because we're used to that. Or if it was a law enforcement officer, it wouldn't scare him because we're used to that. We're not used to people bearing arms, therefore people feel it's okay to be
Well,
scared.
here's the thing. It was originally reported that he was dangerous, that he had put up almost like a manifesto, that he had all these intents, he had gone there to cause confusion, to cause a panic.
I did not read any of that.
Well, that was what was initially shared in the news media about him. So what I'm hearing from you is you're saying that never happened.
No.
Okay, so what we get is, again, we have misreporting.
Yeah.
We have an overreaction. If what you're saying is
What you're
true,
saying is no, it didn't happen.
No,
Correct?
he walked in there, bulletproof vest on.
Yeah.
Okay? He's got lots of rounds of ammo. He's got a sidearm handgun.
Okay.
And he's got rifle over the shoulder. Okay?
which I think you put in the cart, right?
I don't believe.
No?
Well,
Did he
with
keep
the
it on?
kid.
because
I
right
don't know.
when he came in, no, I don't believe he put it in the
Okay,
car.
okay, so he kept it on. Okay.
But the manager saw it and right away set the alarms. Everybody starts scurrying. Right? Okay, there's another fella in there who happens to be carrying, but that fella concealed. Okay? He pulls a gun on the guy. Now, we don't know who he is. We find out later he happens to be not a peace officer, not a state-certified cop. He happens to be an off-duty fireman.
Either way. he's got
Either
a
way,
firearm.
but we don't know that. But we know this guy is pointing a gun at another guy who has a gun over his shoulder. Now, at that point, you tell me who is actually committing a crime here. Okay, now this is important because in about 3 months, or a little over,
We're going to be faced with that right
we're
here.
going to have all kinds of people without any licenses walking down the street, and somebody might be scared by one and scream and yell, and another guy want to be a hero because there's a damsel in distress and pulling a gun on another guy. And it ain't going to be pretty.
Well, it can and should be, and this is why we bring it up.
Not when you point a gun at somebody without them actually doing something.
If there was nothing done, if the idiot, as you would phrase him, had done nothing, okay, then to have the gun pulled on him is a criminal act on the fireman.
Yeah, but they're celebrating the...
Oh, I know. Oh, yes, they were. And so have been a number of... I mean, I read it on OK2A's Facebook group. Mm-hmm. They were celebrating... Some of them were celebrating him. And others were reining them in. So
Celebrating him, the guy,
the fireman
that pulled
the
gun.
fireman.
Who accosted him.
Let me go ahead and join their chorus. I could easily say that someone might fear for their life in that situation. If you're standing, I mean,
That's
regardless
not,
if
you
can-
can't let snowflakes rule our legal
well,
system.
a snowflake in today's society is not a snowflake when a guy walks in armed and able to carry out.
Well, wait a minute. A cop does that every single day.
We have
And we
already
do-
authorized the cop to do it for us.
We now authorized everybody to put a rifle over their shoulder. Now,
Well,
right,
no. Let's get this straight. God authorized
Okay.
us because these are according to our law. These are God-given rights. They are superior to any law to the contrary. So the thing is,
let me be clear, Tom. It's an extension of your natural right of self-defense.
I'm not arguing.
That's
that.
what he said.
I'm
Okay.
suggesting that our laws in each community and locally have the ability to deal with things that are very nuance oriented. We have
Sure.
laws against disturbing the peace. This would quite easily fall into an area of disturbing the peace, but that doesn't allow you to pull a gun there.
Based on what? On him not threatening anybody,
Well,
but somebody
that's
feeling
the-
threatened.
Again,
You tell me.
it's not about the legalistic aspect of it. The if you live in a community, I'm not hurting anybody if I play my rock and roll, right? Until I'm disturbing the peace, and then they
Correct.
come get me.
Correct, but you are actually doing something that is taking away their right to enjoy the same air and calm. And even there's limits on that to where a cop will step in and say that, yes, it is a serious enough, egregious, because it's 3 in the morning, not 3 in the afternoon. So yeah,
let's add to the no shirt, no shoes, no service, no.
that's not
rifles.
law. That's not law.
Right, but I mean,
That is a store's right to put conditions
private
on
part-
this
private
guy was
property.
purposefully flaunting the law to gain his own personal attention.
Boy,
Flaunting-
I'm
what do you
sorry.
mean- what do you mean
when did
flaunting
he
the
tell you
law?
that?
I read that in his mind.
You sound like a snowflake because
I'm
this
just trying to
Well, no,
press
this
the
comes
point.
down to exactly what I wanted to get to, which was where we're going with the ERPOs. The
What's an
emergency, what are those things? It's where they steal your guns.
Yes.
For while you have done nothing actually.
Yeah,
Against anybody else.
Emergency order of.
They're something emergency something protective orders.
Yeah.
And or emergency response.
It's where they say,
protective
we're
orders, something
taking
like
your
that.
guns now, your hearing will be in 2 weeks. Between now and then, you can't defend yourself. We're going to make you vulnerable.
Well, in 2 weeks is just a preliminary hearing. You're not going to get your actual due process till on down the road. You're not going to get your jury trial and everything else till on down the road. And again, you have still done no crime.
Right.
So what about acts of decency and indecency?
Right. Yeah, now, Tom, if he had made any deliberate move that you could clearly and objectively say, okay, here he's trying to, but when he's walking just expressionless, calm, not running, not
Shopping.
charging.
Was he shopping?
There's that. He mentioned something about groceries.
Did he scope
But-
anything in when he was
Yeah.
shopping?
No.
I'll have one
Yeah.
of those.
Now, Tom, if you literally take that sling
I
off
get
your
it.
shoulder,
I
that
get
in
it.
itself, you can say, okay,
So
that
if
is-
you are a fireman and you are concealed carry and you're walking through the Walmart and some dipwad walks in locked and loaded, you just keep following him until he pulls it out.
Well, that actually would be a proper response.
more
accurate-
And a more
unless-
proper
I answered the question.
unless it can be deemed that you're stalking him.
Remember,
Correct, I'm stalking him.
we have already discussed this exact situation when we had the Blanchard call in.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the exact same situation where a guy is just sitting across the street
Sitting
from
in
a
his
house
pickup truck.
in his pickup truck where outside of a house that he is going to do an inspection on.
Yeah.
And he's doing nothing. The neighbors call the cops, and the cops come up and accost him. There is nothing different except for facts which are now in dispute because they've gone both ways. Again, with Epstein and everything else, we've got all sorts of sides being said, and who is telling the truth? The problem is we've got too many liars out there, too many people willing to spread false news. the point is that, well, let's get it back to just a basic. If the idiot did nothing, the little fool did nothing criminal, then the accosting of him, the calling the cops by the manager, and the pulling of the gun by the fireman are illegal acts.
Yeah, and
Okay?
let me say this: the biggest proof of my conjecture here is how he reacted when a gun was pulled on him. Keep in mind, he outgunned the guy, right? He has way more weapons. He's got a bulletproof vest on.
I have a feeling he was wearing that for a reason, because he expected what happened to him, and that's a way to survive.
According to his sister, he said, I wonder if my constitutional rights actually will be honored like the law says they should be.
Oh.
And so
Okay.
this is according to his sister. And she told him, I wouldn't do it, that's too dangerous, and so that's...
If that's actually what happened, this guy is a brave patriot.
I'm just telling you, it
He's a
seemed no
fool
different
at the
than what
same
Tim
time,
Harper of News Now OKC does. He does First Amendment audits, where he'll take his cameras and he'll walk into, police departments, libraries, government offices, and then you can't videotape in here. Oh yeah, I can.
Right.
And he's gotten arrested for doing it.
Bravery lives right next door to stupidity.
Oh, it's a fine line separates the two.
What act of bravery is not considered stupid by a weaker man?
Yeah. Yeah.
So anything else before we close out? By the way, you're listening to 3D Politics. I'm Tom McKay, your host. David Van, David Oldham. We're missing David D'Ambrosa tonight, but be sure and find out all the good information at Sooner Politics and also on constitutional.org there.
Constitutional grounds.
Constitutional grounds, thank you.
Had a fine moment there, didn't you?
Are you both? Are you both?
It's not about the.
Yes.
It's about the truth, not about facts.
So they're both .orgs. Soonerpolitics.org
And constitutionalgrounds.com.
.com.
I think you can get there also by
Yeah,
.org.
we'll get it. We'll get it eventually.
Yeah, he's on Main Street downtown on that little side avenue where the cheap real estate is. The .orgs, Yeah.
I use a small button.
Where all the
because it makes money
non-profits
look
live,
We got one more.
We're non-profit. We haven't made nothing.
Good night's sleep for a good night's profit.
Yeah.